calling on Ukraine's President Zelensky to accept the 28-point plan by Thanksgiving. Ukraine, Russia, and Europe are all reviewing this plan right now, with Zelensky saying he will work to propose alternatives, and Vladimir Putin saying he's yet to have direct discussions about it with the U.S. Here with us now, we have former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor. Ambassador, thanks for joining us this morning. I want to go over some of the major points of this proposed plan here. Ukraine has to commit to not joining NATO. The country has to give up claims to hold Russia accountable. And then most notably here, there are going to be some territorial concessions for Ukraine. I thought it was interesting as I was reading about this. A Ukrainian parliamentary official said that this could be part of Trump's game, that he starts with something absolutely absurd, which causes shock, and then he becomes more reasonable. What do you make of this proposal? Is this shock and awe, or is this a realistic peace deal on the table?
Brooke, it's not a realistic peace deal on the table. What it is a good first draft. It's a good starting point, and several people have talked about making some real changes, some real improvements. There's some mistakes in the draft. I mean, it was put together pretty quickly, so there's a lot of work that needs to go into it. It's not a final deal by any means. The Ukrainians are going to take a look. The Europeans are actually going to take a look as well. And Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, has indicated that this is a beginning, not an end, and that he's having conversations today, I understand, Brooke, with Ukrainians and Europeans in Geneva to go over some of these things to make some changes. So this is a work in progress.
Zelensky has mentioned how delicate this is for his country, right? Because Ukraine doesn't want to look like it is surrendering to Russia, but at the same time, you don't want to lose the partnership with the United States. Here is some of what Zelensky has said about this.
Now Ukraine may find itself facing a very difficult choice, either the loss of dignity or the risk of losing a key partner, either the difficult 28 points or an extremely difficult winter.
How does Ukraine navigate this?
It takes seriously the 28 points, but it also takes seriously that Marco Rubio and others have said they're open to make changes. That's how they do this. There are some good things in this thing for Ukraine. Ukraine will get a security guarantee from the United States that says that if the Russians attack, that the United States will be there to defend Ukraine. So the Ukrainians, there's some good things in there, but there are some difficult things that you've pointed out. And the Ukrainians will go through that very carefully, like they did on the earlier minerals deal, Brooke, where there was an initial first draft, and then there was a lot of discussion, and it came out with a pretty good result. That's what they're looking for now as well.
I'm curious, though, because, I mean, even President Trump has said Ukraine doesn't have a lot of cards to play anymore right now. He's certainly putting the pressure on Ukraine to take this and take it quickly.
President Trump has been clear. He wants to end this war. Everybody wants it done quickly. There's no doubt about it. Everybody wants this killing to stop. This is a good start. There's no magic about Thursday. There's nothing that says you have to get everything done by Thursday. There's a lot of work to be done. There are decisions to be made. There are improvements to be made to this agreement. So they're taking it seriously. This is very serious for Ukraine. This is existential for Ukraine. This is really important for them. So they'll take it seriously and they'll move quickly, but they're going to do what's in their best interest.
Yeah, to your point, you mentioned Thursday. The president right now eyeing Thanksgiving Thursday to get this completed by. This 28-point plan was crafted without Ukrainian involvement. Walk us through how we got here.
Steve Witkoff is the president's envoy that has spent a lot of time in the Kremlin. And he put together this 28-point plan, mostly with input from his counterpart in the Kremlin, a man named Kirill Dmitriev. So this has pretty much of a Russian slant. Now they are bringing it to the Ukrainians. They did have a consultation with the National Security Advisor, the Ukrainian National Security Advisor, last week. So there was some input, but now they're bringing it more formally to President Zelensky. And President Zelensky, as I said, will like some things, accept some things, not like some things, and he'll make proposals for changes. And it could take a week, take some time, but they've got time to do this.
Yeah, is this plan, though, giving...
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.